Hello, Miss Laura. Oh my God,
Hello.
that little cat lady crop.
We need to be in short weather, short sleeve sweater vibe. The radiant heat in the apartment is radiating and I
She's cooking.
cannot cool down. So short sleeve sweaters, consider it, everyone. Consider. They're great.
Well, you are selling it. You are selling it, Miss Laura, looking great.
Thank you.
I was just saying that anytime I've been anywhere near a Zoom since I finished this sweater last week, I have just put on my new Colette. This is just my lifestyle. This
Well,
is
it's
how
high
we're living.
impact. It's high impact. It's alarming to me how quiet the chat is. Normally, we at least have some like waves or something. It's just like so quiet.
People got shit to do.
Maybe we're just dazzle. We're too dazzling in our garments. I think that must be it.
They're trolley driving. They're probably
Yep.
yeah. Oh,
Oh,
okay.
great.
Now they're coming.
Confirmed.
Now they're popping.
Great. Okay. It was just very okay. Heart eye emoji. Fine.
It was
Now we're
alarming.
fine.
All right.
Just never know exactly.
Oh yeah, knitting.
Hard. Yeah.
They got
Mhm.
they got to be knitting. Yeah, there are so many things going on right now. So of course, everyone is working away hard on their projects. I know that it took me a lot to put it down, put all of my
Same.
shenanigans down. Yeah.
Yep.
All trying to knit the
Same.
quilt squares.
Yeah. Same. Just working away and was trying to like sneaky under the screen to pretend like I was super engaged, but I'm just working away. I'm squaring away. It's what we're all talking about. Our latest quilt along, our latest knit along.
Our latest knit along is the Heirloom Quilt Cardigan by Katryn Seeburger. Here's my pile. I blocked them yesterday. So pleasing.
Yeah. So you have 10 now? The last time I saw you, you had half that amount.
I have 10.
That's crazy.
Yes. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I'm just kind of printing them off now.
Good.
Good. Yeah. I got some white background ones.
It makes a huge difference.
Which feels very fancy. So yeah, I have been very obsessed with these. If I realize that if I am going to achieve my goal, which is to have 20 squares by my next live about this quilt along, which is on Tuesday,
20
I need
squares
to
in a week.
Yeah, well, I know I need 20 total. I want 20
total,
which means I only need to knit 2 per day, which is manageable. So that's my pace. That's my pace, 2 per day.
I feel that's a lot. I mean, I thought I was doing pretty well with 5 completed and then 6 on the needles.
You are doing well.
But 10 is just I've got a lot of other. I mean, you can see like I'm sewing, I'm working on class prep, I've got other projects to show. But so if we grade on that curve, it's going pretty well. But I agree with you. I found this pattern pretty easy to memorize. Like it's pretty intuitive. It's a little confusing, I'd say, like here and in the transition between making the bottom points and the top points.
I always miss this first background color coming back in when the squares are starting to get bigger.
Yeah, that part's always a little confusing. It's a little confusing. For me personally, I'm making the middle square size. I believe you are as well.
Same.
So I like to cast on my 36 stitches, and then I like to do a stitch marker at 10 and then another stitch marker at 16. So that way I just always have stitch markers running up the middle. That really helps me. But it gets a little confusing on this part, and you just have to like pay attention. But yeah, that helps me keep the square, which I feel like is the highest impact piece.
Squaring.
Yeah. Everything else just kind of falls away. And it works out pretty well. So I said this to Allyson when we were chatting about this in person, but my general vibe right now is I'm going to just alternate, and I'm going to do a dark background and a light background. It's not necessarily going to be all the same colors, but so I've got 3 dark backgrounds and 2 light backgrounds. So now I'm on to even it up, I'm on a 3rd light background, and I'll just kind of keep ping ponging back and forth. So that way it'll just work itself out. It's not all the same colors, it's not all the same vibe, but like dark and light is just easy to like keep going on, I think.
I like it. So far, because I have 10, I have 2 different backgrounds.
That white is so pretty.
Yeah. So I have 2 of each of my 5 colors that I'm using as the background. So now I'm going to go through and get 3 each. Then I'm going to do 4 each.
Nice.
And then we'll see where we're at from there. So that is my plan. And that should shake out pretty well, I think. Yeah. Linda in the chat is just teeing us up, Laura, for an experiment, a live experiment that we are going to be doing, because I have been playing around with a autofilling sizing breakdown of the Heirloom Quilt cardigan. Okay.
Amazing.
Because I've been studying this pattern, Laura, and she has the smallest size is in a slightly different orientation. The blocks are in a slightly different orientation because I think they're too short, where you need to pile them on at the bottom to make it longer. And then the 2 other sizes are the exact same orientation. You're either making blocks that are this size or blocks that are larger, and that's how you size your pattern. But that got me thinking about all the different ways that you could sew your quilt blocks together. You know, how many, like 2 deep in the front, only 1 in the front, 3 in the front. How many does that mean in the back? So I made a little spreadsheet that's going to help figure out what the options are. All right.
Very good.
So I thought I'd do mine, and then we can do yours.
Okay, cool.
And I'm going to, fingers crossed, share my screen and see what I cooked up and see if it works and see what the options are.
Awesome. Right? Yeah, I have been saying, people are like, oh, how many blocks do you need? And I've just been saying the number 20. I have not made a study of the pattern whatsoever. I just looked at the chart, and since Allyson has, and I heard her say 20 once, I've been saying 20, but I think this is going to give us a lot more precision, and we can figure it out more. So.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So I am going to measure, firstly, I'm going to measure my block. All right. Okay. Now my blocks, what you want to do is take an average of the blocks, of your block sizes. Cause you know, we're all kind of throwing our shit together, and some of our blocks are going to be slightly bigger. Some of our blocks are going to be slightly smaller. So if we take an average measurement, that will give us the best overall size. Now, just to review, we are measuring only the color work portion, all right, not our little outside guys. Those are going to be our extremely sturdy seam allowances. All right, so what I'm looking at is I've got, let me write this down, I've got blocks that are, this looks like 5 7/8 wide. We're getting real exact here, Laura.
Okay.
And I've got 5 3/8 tall. All right. So let's start with
pretty close. Pretty close. Okay. Pretty close, but that's when I'm using my one worsted yarn as background. So I'm going to measure my DK.
Yeah, measure your other ones. All right. So I'm going to share my screen, fingers crossed, because, you know, sometimes the almighty network doesn't like when we do this. There she is. There she is. Okay. We're working on this. All right. So I'm going to put in the width of my block, which is 5. Let's just say 5.8. All right. And the height of my block, which is we'll say 5.3. All right. So we have our options here. Okay. So this is the bust. These are the bust circumference possibilities right here. Okay. Now, if what the cryptic notes up here are, this is 5 total blocks around, 1 on each front and 3 across the back, and then 6 total blocks around is 1 each in the front and 3 across the back. Then we have to jump to 8 because we're going with 2 blocks across the front and 4 blocks across the back. Now that's giving me kind of a reasonable bust circumference for this sucker. 9, which is 2 across the front and 5 across the back, is going to give me 52.2 inches. Now this is where the designer's mind is with this one. She's got a lot of ease that she's building into the sucker. So she is living up in this world over here, but we don't necessarily need to live in this world. So I don't know. I am kind of between these two sizes for me. This will give me about 9 inches of positive ease. And then this will give me, just about 6 more than that. And then we're looking at how many blocks long. So this will be the total length from the top of the shoulder to the bottom of the sweater. All right. So we're going with 3 blocks, which would be pretty ultra cropped. 16 inches is pretty short. Or we could do 4 blocks down, which is more like of a reasonable cardigan. Now remember, these are not including any of our ribbing options, but adding these 2 numbers together will give you how many total blocks you need, right? So if I've decided that I'm going to go with 21 inches long, I'm going to need 4 blocks down. And if I want to live in this 9 block around section, I'm going to need 4 times 9 total blocks for my sweater, right? 4 blocks down, 9 around, 4 times 9. All right, which is much, much more than 20. But that's a lot bigger than what this is a little croppy friend that she has. And so if you want to add more length with the blocks rather than with the ribbing that we'll cast on, then that's going to mean you're going to need more blocks. Yeah.
Do you happen to know, sorry, question, in the sample photo in the pattern, how much positive ease she's demonstrating in that picture?
Oh my gosh, so many inches.
Okay.
Let me double check it.
I think it's helpful to know, because for me, anytime I see like oversized or lots of positive ease, my mind goes to 10. It's got to be 10 inches. But it's usually, especially for like a drop sleeve situation, it's usually a lot more than that. So I just was curious, but if it's not in the pattern, it's not a big deal.
It definitely is in the pattern. This is just 10 pages too many.
I agree. That's why I haven't really read through it.
The photographed sample is worn with 34 inches of positive ease.
Okay. That's a great deal. Gosh, I don't think I could have 38 extra inches on my ruler. I don't think I could do it in my standard size ruler.
Oh, right? Yeah, we couldn't even get to, that's so much ease. Yeah, I was not being
yeah. Okay, wait, 42. I need 18. Yeah, oh my God. 32.
Yeah, so she has 3 sizes in this pattern. The bust measurements for her, if written the way that, knit in the way that this pattern is written, she has a 50-inch bust, a 70-inch bust, and a 78 3/4 inch bust. That is how she has decided. She said in here, the test knitters chose sizes that gave between 15 and 30 inches of positive ease. So in typical designer fashion, the picture on the model is different than what the suggested ease is in the pattern. How much ease is that? Are you demonstrating there, Miss Laura?
This is 18. So I'm short. There's a room for an entire like another bust size next to me. Really, you standing next to me.
Yeah, 32
is what that's demonstrating.
Yes, if she has 32 inches of 34 inches of positive ease, that is 3 inches smaller than me. So yeah, it would be just like smashing us together, Laura, which I always love.
But that's really an important aspect for us all to think about in terms of what, if we're going less than an additional bust size, like additional person size, it's going to make your sleeves longer, right? And then demonstrated, and it'll fit differently. So I'm so glad thank you for looking that up. That's wild.
I knew it was crazy. Crazier than, I get a lot of pushback when I teach a weekender class, and Andre Mari has 10 inches of positive ease.
Right.
I'm trying, what would mine be? 30, 76?
Let's see. 30, you're 36?
Yeah.
Yeah, 36.
This would be 32. With 34 inches of positive ease. I'm like hula hooping.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, your sleeves would be, which is great. There is, I still maintain, even after these hilarious demonstrations, because again, I'm way off the ruler or the measuring tape at this point.
Yeah, I have this 120-inch measuring tape.
That's helpful.
When you're talking about an entire human
importance. Yeah, because mine's only 60. So not inclusive at all. But we get a lot of questions about what is too much positive ease. And I still maintain, even though we're making these hilarious like examples, this is not too much positive ease.
No,
this is it's a lot, but it's what you're looking at when you're looking at the sample photo. So definitely need to, meter stick. There we go. That is something to keep in mind when you're thinking about the sizing of this. Realistically though, if that was what we were going for, we'd be on a whole other section of your spreadsheet, I think. And I have to make way more squares than I want to make.
Exactly. I think that's where this comes into it too. It's like, I don't want to even make 36 of these. Yeah,
36 is hard to swallow because I've been saying 20 to everybody, but it's way more than that, apparently.
Yeah. If you were going to go with her sizing, and you could see, Laura, I'm just assuming based on the pushback that I've gotten my whole life, trying to get people to do 10 inches of positive ease. Yeah. I just don't think people are going to want to do 36 inches of positive ease. I'm going out on a limb, which is why you'll see on my spreadsheet, I didn't really account for that.
Right.
Because this is just a first step. We can go either way on this thing. But I think where I am going to feel the best about this, I just want to get if I'm going with 16, so 3 blocks long. I keep looking at other things and losing my camera. So 3 blocks long is going to be 16 inches. It's going to be here. Plus ribbing on the bottom of that. I think that's going to do me, I think that's cute. So I think what I'm going to do based on my little spreadsheet here is I'm going to do 9 across, which is going to give me 2 blocks in the front.
Nice.
And 5 blocks across the back. So 9 times 3 is what, 27?
Yes.
Probably.
Yes. 9 times 3 is 27.
So 27 is my girl. That's what I'm looking at. Laura, do you want to crunch your numbers? Should we
I
take a look
do.
at this?
I do.
Yeah.
Because what I think I want versus the block number I'm going to get, I might need to revise. But yes, I'm pretty much there with you in terms of my width.
Got
Um,
you.
I have, yeah, it really is just 5 7/8. Like it just really is. Um, Wide, not including the garter, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then, but for length, I'm at 5.5. 5.5. So my vision for this was 15 inches of positive ease. My bust size is a 42, so I was looking for like a 57. But the difference there between
Smack
two
dab.
two across or three across is pretty significant. So if they did that 63, that's 21 inches. So that's significant. Um,
Uh, you could start cutting these things in half.
I could, and that was one thing that Caro taught us too, that you could also angle your fronts to kind of make a faux, like a V-neck situation.
Yeah.
Um, I still think that 10, here we are again at my magic number of 10 inches of positive ease. Oh my gosh. I feel like that might be the universe telling me that I can always I could go for this 52 and then do something funky um, with
Fronts.
my button band too.
Mm-hmm. I was
Make it
thinking
a
this
little
might
extra
be a
wide.
fun, yeah, like shawl collar-y
Hmm.
situation too, or we
That
do
could be
short
fun.
rows around that, and that'll bring the whole thing bigger.
Yeah. So I think I'm looking at the 9. So 2 in the front and 5 in the back. So that's what I'm looking at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um and let's see. So I do think, okay, 16.5 I think for me is going to be a little too cropped. Versus the 22. I do like that. I'm trying to decide too, for me, there is a really cool project on Ravelry where someone has added kind of a bottom color motif that look like knitted half square triangles along the bottom.
Oh,
So I
fun.
really liked that, and I'm thinking, because I'm trying to do my sleeves in a solid same color. So it might be cool to do like dark sleeves and then a light band with dark triangle. Anyway, going on and on, but I think the 16.5 would be a little too short. But if I made that like a 2-inch band and then did ribbing, I think that'll do me. So
Fun. So you're looking at 27 blocks too. You're gonna live
yeah,
here and live
I think
here.
so. I think so. Because otherwise it would be what, 11 times, it'd be 33.
33.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, 9 times 4? 30.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, or doing the bigger size, the bigger
Oh,
bust
11
band.
times 3. Gotcha.
Yeah, 11 times 3, 33. If I wanted to have more positive ease. So, yeah, I'm gonna do 27 and get fancy with whatever amount of yarn I have left, because I am vibes. I am on vibes right now. So,
I like it. I like it. Vibes only.
already
Yeah.
the bottom of my project bag is just looking crazy with the amount of like scrappy stuff that's in there. So, it's just crazy. So whatever's left in there, we're gonna just make it work. So I like this plan. So
I like it.
27 for both of us. No surprise that we have a similar gauge, because I think we both have a ton of DK weight in our scrap. So that
Yeah.
makes it, or worsted.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that makes a lot of sense that our gauge is similar.
I think so
So
too.
yeah. This, I think, yeah, with the mods that I want to make, with a wider neckband and adding a bottom band, 27 is going to work great for me.
I love this. I love this.
Yeah.
Thank you for wanting to dig into my little experiment that I was
So
cooking
fun.
up today. Yeah, I really like when the spreadsheet can do the work for you.
Yes.
That's my favorite. So, if you are participating in our heirloom quilt cardigan, knit along. It's hard to say quilt and knit.
I know. I keep.
Yeah. Whew,
they are different tracks for me, but they're not now. Exactly. They're all combined.
No, we are melding. We're melding everything together. Yeah. So I will be sharing this spreadsheet in the party so that you can use it. Quilt along. Tommy is exactly right. I keep saying quilt along. We're not quilting, we're knitting. It's a quilt cardigan knit along, which is challenging for my brain, but that is what we're doing. So keep an eye out. I will be sharing that spreadsheet so you can start using it and planning too.
Thank you so much.
I think it's going to be fun. And that's also a reason why I told everyone to chill out, because everyone is really dialed to 11 when this is supposed to be just like a fun de-stashing project. So hopefully, knowing that the math is just going to be done for you will help people just relax.
I hope so.
Their stash.
Yeah, it's really okay, everyone. Remember, just a quick reminder that this is our hobby and it is supposed to be fun. So even though FOMO is painful, you can always give it a miss if it's actively stressing you out. I find it super enjoyable. Personally. So the level of panic, I'm like disproportionate. I'm having a lot of fun. So I'm hoping that once you get into it, and you get your hands on this spreadsheet, you'll feel a lot better, because it's so fun to be able to have it. I've said this multiple times to Allyson, but I think the first time that it's been recorded, so I'm just gonna say it again. I really struggle with scrappy projects. Like there isn't like I'm not always, even though I tend to knit a lot of the same colors, I'm not always in love with my options, or super scrappy doesn't really appeal to me. And this is like the perfect amount. There's color work, which I love, but it's all super coordinated. I'm loving this project. So I'm hoping that's contagious and you all can dig through your stash and have fun with it.
Yeah, me too. And if you hate it and you only make 3 of these, well, guess what? You've just knit yourself
really baby
coasters, just really fancy coasters, and you can bail. And I love that for you, and that's okay. All right. Yeah.
Mug rug, easy.
Yeah.
God, no.
Very fun. Yeah. No. Well, that took a lot of time, Laura, but I feel like that was important to dig into.
Well, I think it's important. It spares your inbox from exploding and people freaking out, because there's no need. It's fun. It's we're just making squares. That's all we're doing.
Yeah, just making squares. So hopefully, people can see a path forward, and just start knitting some of these squares in a more chill way. Yeah, I love that for us.
Yeah, so fun.
I'm gonna hope to have 20 of these. I think, based on my spreadsheet, I will stop at 27, which also feels very manageable. And we'll just keep making squares, and then next week we'll start sewing these suckers together.
Amazing. I'm excited. Yeah. Thanks for leading the charge on this, where I'm having a blast, and so hopefully everyone else will get on the fucking board, because I'm having a blast.
Well, honestly, Laura, I'm here to serve and make sure that you have a blast in your life.
That's all I need. Yeah, I want to have some fun, so I hope everyone joins me.
Do you want to see something else that I'm very excited about, Laura?
Yes, please show me.
Last night was my Paul McCartney sweater workroom, where we cut open the steeks.
Yes.
And so I have.
Yay! Oh, that deep V is so sexy. It's so sexy. It's beautiful.
This is just a nice armhole size.
Sweet petite with a plunging neckline. So
Yeah,
beautiful.
as I do. Yeah, so I've got one shoulder seamed up, did this during class. I just have this one pinned. And then I'm rewarded by having to knit sleeves.
Rosie is
So
like
back it down.
frantic.
She is
She's
stuck.
frantic. She's
She broke
like,
her tail the other day.
oh goodness. I
Uh,
love how she uses the project bags to
as a shelf.
shimmy on down. Yeah.
She shelves. Yeah. But yeah, I'm so excited about this. It looks like a sweater.
Wow. And how was the
So
try on? Were you just like triumphantly like, ta-da? Like that has been a long time coming.
it is very stressful though when you are in a class full of people who are just spending hundreds of hours knitting a sweater that looks completely insane, like a weird
Mhm.
misshapen tube, and you just say, don't worry about it, just cut it open, and then you have to do that in front of the people and then hope that all the math worked out. Holy shit, I was sweating my tits off.
Yeah, it's a lot, but it always works out. It always works out. Math.
It
Who
always
knew?
works out because of
Well, it's
math.
so
Really.
good. I had no doubt, of course, but it is so good and so worth taking that class, everyone. You should really hop in that work group.
Yeah, it's a fun time. It's a fun time. So I'm going to try to be good and keep with my goals. But, all I want to do is knit the sleeves of that goddamn sweater because it's so beautiful.
Same.
But we gotta
I want to see it.
stay on track because I
Mhm.
feel like this is one of those projects where if you look away from it, you're going to keep this many forever and then it's going to be over. And you're
Yeah.
going to do it anymore. So I'm going to stay focused on this.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's slipping through. Oh, hello. Hello, Bowling Bin. It
Adapalooza over here.
Yeah,
Jesus.
they just need attention. You are too busy knitting your blocks. You have not paid attention to your boys and girls.
He's so
So,
handsome. He's so
yes,
handsome. Hi, baby.
can't hear me, but
So,
he's a great guy.
yeah, he is. He hears you in his heart.
Yeah,
Or he also
he's
he
aware,
also doesn't
generally aware. Yes.
generally aware.
Yes.
All right. So what else is taking your attention over there, Miss Laura?
Well, a couple of things. One is I have absolutely no time for. Wow. So just so much going on.
Rosie goes out, he goes back up.
It's just so much. One thing that I absolutely don't have time for, so of course it means that I am super in love with, is a new cross stitch along that I accidentally joined at our Galentine's retreat. So the gals at Galentine's found these room cross stitches from Diana Waters. And she
Oh,
has
that's
5
cute.
rooms. Isn't it so cute, Kiki's
Yes,
Kitchen? So fucking
so
cute.
cute.
And the murder mystery piece, we are part of the fun is we're figuring out what the hell that means all together. But essentially, she has designed these super cute rooms. So just in and of themselves, I just adore them. They're so, so
Yeah,
cute.
would live
And
there.
yes, like this belongs in my kitchen. So I'm working on this to put in my kitchen because this is the dream for sure.
It's so good.
But apparently within each of the rooms there is a clue that you collect a clue per room and then you put them together and it tells you who, what, where, why, and how this crime has been committed. And then each
Mm.
room is named for someone and we get a little bio of each person. So my person is Kiki. So all that being said, I feel like there's a couple things that could be the clue in my room. It's speculation. I have no clue. I don't know. But I think there's a clock set at, well, it's hard to tell what the big hand and the little hand is on this, but there is a clock set at either, I think it's
But you're
6:30.
too young to know what analog time is, Laura.
Yeah.
Too young. Too
I
young.
think it's set at 6:30 in the morning, I would say. So there's that, and then there's also this big thing that says yum, and I wonder.
That looks like poison to me.
That's
Definitely
what I
poison.
feel. I feel
Yeah.
like poison. There's also these really cute mugs. You see in this little mug stack, but one of the mugs is missing a handle. Now, this could be in Boo Boo, or something's ajar with the mug. So those are my theories right now.
Oh shit.
I have this window done. And that's about all I've got time for.
For 24 hours straight. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just nothing like cross edge to make you reevaluate time and be like, this is ridiculous. You have to put this down. So I'm allowing myself an hour a day on it, and then I simply must go do my job.
That's healthy. That's healthy.
So it's satisfying, but I'm not getting so wrapped up where all of a sudden it's 3 a.m., which doesn't sound like a thing, but definitely is a thing. I find
holy shit, it is.
Once you push through the exhaustion window on cross stitch, all of a sudden you look up and you're like, holy smokes, my day is gone. So we do a timer.
Your shoulders.
Yeah, we're doing a timer. We're doing a timer for sure.
Smart, I love that.
Yeah. Other thing I'm working on, the Sylvan jacket from Sew Liberated. We started our sew along in the garment worker last night. Super fun. But I'm in a decision making mode. I don't know. My serger really needs the blade sharpened. It can no longer serge and cut fabric off. Which sucks for me. But it also makes finishing edges really annoying. Because instead of serging off the jagged edges, it just kind of tucks them under and makes it all bulky and gross. Yeah, so there is an underlining option for the Sylvan, which is seriously, you just basically trace, you just cut another pattern of lining and place it on top, and then you just turn it inside out and boom, all the edges are lined. So I'm going to dig through some scrap here and see, but I might just do that for ease. I think I haven't, Pam, this has been Pam was with me last night in the sew along, and she is recommending buying a new blade, and as opposed to taking it in and getting it sharpened. And I 100% agree. But I had this thought at 6 a.m. this morning, and now it's now. So I'm going to be just Googling new blades, and that might be the real tea. But so that's a moment we're meditating. It's a 3-week long process. So luckily I have time to make up my mind. But I'm going to order a new serger blade, I think. Anyway, so that's... You
probably need that anyway, right?
Yeah, I think so, for sure. And it's a really simple... I see exactly how I would take it on and off. So we'll see if my vintage machine still has blade out there. And then finally this week, I cast the body of my Sunday sweater is finished. Woohoo! Finally, and I have done 1 row of a sleeve. Just one.
Well, she's beautiful. Yeah.
And again, just reminding myself of how much I love short sleeve sweaters. I might just no. I got to power through. There's a vision.
At least elbow.
At least. Yeah. But no, I want a freaking balloon sleeve on this. It's a very specific vision. My contrast inside collar looks super good in the daylight. So that's what's happening. It's a slow and steady and very easy to pick up and put down because our other knit along, yoke along, continues through the end of April into May. Is that right? I can never remember. Anyway, mid-April.
We pushed it back to the first Tuesday in May because of our
travel
to Germany. Yes.
So I have time.
So you have plenty of time. Plenty of time. It is only March. Yeah. Yes. So you have 2 full months. I think it's actually May 7th is the last day. So
great.
You have
a sleeve a month.
Laura. You can do it. A sleeve a month. That's a really good goal.
Mm-hmm.
See, we're setting up achievable goals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you're going to be multi-craftual and jump back and forth between projects, the compromise that I have to make is to do small buckets of time and not try to finish it all in one go and be okay with it. So that is what's happening. I'm liking the solution because I've got classes to prep for, which I'm so excited about. So all that to say, it's been really nice to be home from our sewing retreat this past weekend, which was so fun. But every day I've been like, oh God, I've been feeling behind, which is crazy. I love this life that I get to live where I'm behind on my crafting. It's very nice. Yeah.
Yeah, but still, you're still behind. So that
Yeah.
feeling is real.
It's right. And I'm just like, oh, wow, oh my gosh. And I'm like, I think about the stupid, like the spreadsheets and the emails and the forms I used to be behind on in my 9 to 5 job and how much that would stress me out. And now it's just, so by comparison, this is craft stress I'll take.
So, Laura, I have 6 classes starting this weekend, and I was just cooking up my Zoom links and everything. I feel like when you are starting classes, it's just chaos because you're like, I need swatches, I need demos, I need all
Yes.
of this stuff, and staying organized is so wild. So that's what I've been doing today, just kind of running around and getting everything started for my classes that are starting this weekend. And if you are sitting in your house and you are thinking, gosh, I have so much FOMO, I don't have a project going on right now, today is the last day to sign up for one of those classes. So you can join me both in the live class and in recordings only. So yeah, today is the last day. If you're like, Allyson, that's way too stressful, I can't start a class in 2 days. I just launched 7 classes that are starting in May, which, like we have just been talking about, gives you 2 months to prepare, maybe clear some whips, collect some yarn, those kind of things. And those classes can be found at AllysonDeckheisen.com. I hope you join me there, including this Colette pullover, which I know you've been just looking at the whole time and looking at how beautiful the sweater is, because that's what I've been doing the whole time that I've been on this live. So I hope you join me. I hope you join me soon. But yeah, I'm just when I'm not making Zoom links, why is it so hard it's like the one thing you don't look at is the one thing that's screwed up. There's so much attention to detail.
Law of the universe, I think. But yeah, similarly, I have a maker work group starting next Monday. I have mitten month kicks off tonight where we're doing a different mitten each week in March. And the maker work group people were all commiserating while we were in Michigan at our retreat, saying that they really wished it started this past Monday. And they were really sad that they had to wait another Monday. And I was like, well, I couldn't have handled it. But I lesson learned. I should have given them I should have given them their space a week early so they could have all just chit-chatted about how excited they were. But, it is what it is. But yes, the mitten month folks are also super excited, and I'm loving my concept. I think we're going to have a lot of fun in that group as well. So I'm excited too, because I'll have mittens to show you next week, our first of the mitten month. So we can kind of talk through that next week, which is really
fun.
Great. Yeah.
Love nice mittens.
Me too. Me too.
The only other thing that I wanted to highlight is we have another sweater club on Tuesday.
Yes, I also wanted to highlight this. We do. We have a happy hour sweater club coming up on Tuesday here in Chicago.
And there are still a couple spots left, right, Laura?
Oh yeah. Yeah. So we would love for you to drop by. We can really pack the house on this one at Spiteful Brewing in what we call it, Ravenswood. Anyway, I don't know what we call that neighborhood. I'm gonna say Ravenswood, Avondale, Beaumontville. I don't know. But it's great, and I love Spiteful Brewing, and just off of Damon, and it is worth your time to come. I know I've already talked to Cousin Terry, who will be there. And we've got some vest planning that we want to do, and it is just 2-hour drop in, and come get advice, come for the hang, party time, excellent. So I love Sweater Club.
I love going out on a Tuesday night because you feel like such an adult when you're like, screw this. It's Tuesday. I'm going to
Yes.
go learn about some knitting and have a beer with my friends. It's just my favorite thing. So come join us. That is on Tuesday.
Yes.
Huh.
It's file it under this time of year. It's hard to get excited to go anywhere. We're all just kind of blah. So, get yourself there because it's always worth it once you're there. That's my advice.
Yes.
That's my advice to all you indoor cats. Leave the house and come. It's worth it. You will be so happy you came.
What you watching?
What am I watching? Well, I have been waiting for a lot of stuff to come out, and it has, but it is going week to week on me, which is hard. That's hard.
1997 over here.
I
hate that so much.
I like when things go week to week when I have a very busy travel schedule because then I can like run all around and I come home and I've got like 3 in the chamber, like ready to go. But of course, this is like my last chill weekend for a while and I just want to cozy up and like catch up on my stories. And there's one story. So that's pissing me off a little bit. But I mentioned this at Yokalong Night, and I know several of you are with me on this, but the new FX ShoGun is so good. It is so good. The minute I saw that trailer, Allyson, as you know, I'm a big fan of, I'm weirdly into the movie The Last Samurai.
The movie is so terrible.
Starring Ken Watanabe. I love it. Starring Ken Watanabe and co-starring an unknown named Tom Cruise. But I also starring Hiroyuki Sanada, who is the actual lead in ShoGun. And oh boy, it's awesome. I freaking love it. The minute I saw that the first second of that trailer, I was like, yes, all the things I love.
They've been filming this show for 10 years.
It's insane.
I really like that a lot, but I cannot go week to week. I can't do it.
You shouldn't.
So I'm going to remember about this in like May.
Yeah, it'll be great to talk to you about then. But I am absolutely going week to week on it. It is so good. Just lots of fighting about shipping commerce and who can be the Lord of all lords and be the ultimate ShoGun. So good.
Exciting.
It's outstanding. So ShoGun, having a great time, great costumes, great performances. Wow, wow, wow. And then last night, I was hoping it would be similar to ShoGun, where they do the premiere and they give you 2 episodes to get you in. But sadly, HBO's The Regime has started, starring Kate Winslet. And
there's only 1 episode of that too?
They're going week to week on it. A la Succession. They're trying to recapture the Succession crowd. And I was really sure it was going to be a 2-fer. So I was like, cool. And then when it was just the 1, I was like left with nothing but the behind the scenes interviews. I mean, crumbs. They're giving me crumbs. Tough.
What did you think of the episode that you did watch?
Well, apologies to Katie Hochstadt, who I understand was not a fan. But it is great. I freaking love it. It is what I hoped for.
Kate Winslet so much.
You should.
Anything.
You should. She is making bold choices like she always is. She's doing a fun speech problem thing. Like it is. I think you need to watch it now before the election cycle, like the debates start, because she is like Lady Trump.
I'm not watching those.
But not you specifically, the viewing audience. I know that about you.
They're never going to talk to each other. Oh,
but
God.
The way that this like is just very much an allegory of just stupid strong arm leaders and like the craziness that enabling them happens. And because it takes place in nowhere, you can also throw in like kind of Rasputin vibes and like, just like really, but also criticizing American foreign policy. Like it's great. I just like everything is super
All right,
great.
maybe I'll give it a couple weeks, so then I have a couple, like 3 to watch.
Yes, it's a strong start. And in that Matthias Schoenaerts is in
Yeah.
it and playing a very different character for him, and he's killing it. I'm having a great time. I'm having a great time with it.
Excellent. All right.
Very dark,
Well,
but I love it.
I have a bit of a I don't know, I just have to get I think I have an unpopular opinion, Laura. That I've been thinking about for about a month now. As I have been rewatching Gilmore Girls when I am eating or doing work. I am just fully hate watching Gilmore Girls. I fully hate it. I
I
hate it so much.
really, I really had fun with the whole cultural moment when we were doing the rewatch and listening to podcasts about the rewatch. But I then went back again on my own, like, I don't know, early pandemic, and I was like, I'm not enjoying myself. Is the
No.
hate watch at least satisfying? Or,
Well, and it happened so fast.
mhm.
I think that first season is like, I think it has good moments, right? Because we all liked this. We all liked it. There's a reason that we all liked it,
Mhm.
and that's there. But as now I'm older than Lorelai,
I was gonna say,
and
I
so
wonder if that is the issue, the fact that we used to watch as Rory as our cipher, and then we
yes,
were able to kind of be Lorelai core, and
yeah.
now we're Emily, and we're like,
Now
fuck
I'm
you.
just grandmaing around, and everyone's just stupid. I feel like I feel like no one. The show is known for how much they communicate with each other. No one's communicating with anyone. Everyone's just yelling. They're just constantly picking fights with each other. And they're like have intense, crazy screaming matches. And then everything's just fine. All of the healing parts of it that make them like, oh, you really, Emily loves Lorelai, or all these things that you're supposed to just know. It all happens off screen.
Yeah.
So there's no satisfying end to all these fights. Everyone's just angry and yelling at each other, and when they're mad at something else, then they pick fights with each other. It is very dysfunctional. It's kind of hard to watch, and it's the writing is frustrating. It's like Greek tragedy. All of
Mm,
the important conversations that anybody has happens off screen, and you're just left with people talking about having a conversation that was important. And that's very
hmm.
frustrating to watch.
I
Like
see that.
when Lorelai breaks up with Max Medina, who they were supposed to get married like in 2 minutes, or
Yeah,
she just calls him up. I guess you never see this, and
you
then like
don't.
2 seasons later, he's just like there, and she's
And he's
like
like,
stalking.
that's tough. Yeah.
Right. And she's like, well, you don't like me? And he's like, we don't have to talk about this. I don't know. I'm just always on everybody's side if their last name is not Gilmore. Uh, they are unhinged psychopaths
Yes.
who like think they're so funny and wonderful, and it's super fat shamey, it's really sex
Very.
shamey, it's super body shamey.
Which was
So
the
yeah,
time. Which was
I
the time.
I hate it. I hate it.
I
It's terrible.
I also think that it really benefited for the CW of it all for the frequent commercial breaks and the week to week. Like trying to
Yes.
make that into a streaming thing, it does feel disjointed because it used to be more of a hard reset in between episodes, like your week would go on and you'd be like, oh, okay, no more Max, all right, fine,
Yeah.
but it feels with
Right.
streaming and binging something, you're like, what the fuck?
You're like,
Like
weren't
you
they
really
doing something
notice
else?
it?
Yeah. Did she have a different boyfriend? Where'd that guy go? Like
Yeah,
these storylines just drop off. It's yeah, it's not
I think the
it's
other
bad.
thing, it definitely, I feel like, influenced a lot of people that are making things now. But I think that the delivery of the dialogue, that like rat-a-tat thing, it has aged in the same way that like His Girl Friday has aged, where the like, "Mercy, why don't you come around? Bah, bah, bah."
Yeah.
You know, you're like, what?
Reference.
Right.
You're like, you're not, nobody's talking.
No, they're
Nobody's,
just monologuing, right? But you're
right.
like, if you go back and watch His Girl Friday, still very charming, but you're like, no
Yeah.
human actually talks like that. No one talks like that then. And it's the same with Gilmore, where you're like, oh, okay. And then you're like, oh
Right.
my God, nobody actually, this
Yeah.
never happened. And no one's
Yeah.
listening to each other. They're just like, my joke,
Just
my
talking.
joke, my joke.
My reference, my reference. Okay, bye. And you're like, oh, but you are supposed to schedule a meeting. No one knows the time of it. You all
And I feel
just
like
didn't say anything about that.
And
Okay.
it feels like a lot of the time, whatever, I still am an Emily defender to a degree. I mean, I had a disapproving grandmother, so it's probably why I'm damaged. But she, um, like, a lot of the times it'll just be like reference, to something that literally happened in Lorelai's day that Emily won't know about, and her line will
Yeah.
be like, "What?" And then everyone's like, "Emily
Oh,
sucks," and I'm like,
Emily, she doesn't listen. Right. I was Jess pops up at one point and
"Oh, yeah,
tells Luke to stop butting into everybody's life and just like leave everyone alone. And I was like, well, that's true. Luke needs to stop trying to get his sister's boyfriend to leave. Like that's so dumb.
It is
So
really
it,
funny that
it
Jess, for a lot of it, is just sort of like a person that wandered onto that screen stage and is like,
yes,
what is
what am I
happening
doing?
here?
These people are crazy. And the whole time I'm like, I'm with Jess.
Yeah,
What the fuck? Everyone is too involved in everyone's life. And he's just like, I just want to read. Leave me alone. Everyone's like, no, you need to do all of these things.
come to the
I
festival. Yeah.
right. He's like, this is stupid and I hate it. And you're just going to the festival to make fun of everyone at the festival. And then I don't want to go and I'm the bad guy. I mean, I'm just like, this is very unhinged. So yeah, I
Well,
am living in this world now where I'm just Emily Gilmore, and everyone pisses me off.
yeah, I think I've always been Emily, but you know, it was fun water cooler talk when the rediscovery was happening. So I really enjoyed that whole process. But
Yes.
yeah, but now we're in big trouble because that's why I can't get into Maisel. I love the
Oh,
costumes,
I know.
but I'm just like it's that same like "Meow, meow, 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 wow, wow, wow," and I'm like no thanks. So
Yeah.
sorry.
No one has any stakes. They sometimes they fight about where they're going to get the money, and I'm always just like, the end of this episode is just going to be asking Emily for money. Why don't we just wrap this up? Like,
Yeah.
let's just get the money from your
The
rich
economics
fucking
of the
parents.
show really don't make a lot of sense. I mean, other than just like you've never really done it on your own, but you get to think. But no,
Totally.
Lorelai, like Lori, I used to be really, really anti-Rory and like really been like, why is she the heroine of the show? Blah, blah, blah. And I would be like, Lorelai's so cool. And in fact, I think she failed that girl.
Yeah. Yes, I think so too.
Lorelai got so
Uh,
annoying as I got older, says Elle. There
yes.
it is.
Same.
There it is. That's why
Yeah.
we're all just
Same.
Emily's out here, like, Jesus Christ.
Get these kids a therapist.
I
That's
know.
what I
Get me
say.
a Chanel jacket and I'm going to the DAR because I can't take it.
All right. On that note, thank you for letting me get that off my chest.
Listen,
Holy
I think
shit.
it's time. I think it's time. I'm glad it happened, but perhaps it's not worth the rewatch. Maybe that's the final conclusion.
Yeah. 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 That's my hot take, Laura. Thank you for
Well, I'm
saving me.
excited to talk to you in May about the regime.
Me
And
too.
can't wait to see all your squares next week.
Oh my God, I'm excited too. We'll have more. We'll all have more to share. All right.
Great.
All right, everybody, have a great week, and we'll see you next time. Bye.